Have you ever had a moment where you stumbled upon something ordinary, only to discover it could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars? Imagine this: you're rummaging through your old coin jar, or you grab a handful of change from your car's center console, and right there, mixed in with the nickels and pennies, is a quarter. Not just any quarter, but a 1989 Washington quarter dollar. It's just 25 cents, right? But what if I told you that tiny piece of metal might actually flip the script on your bank account? Yes, you heard that right. This little coin could actually turn the tables for you, but only if you know exactly what to look for. So don't blink, because by the end of this video, you'll find out why this quarter might be the silent gold mine hiding in plain sight, and I'll even tell you how to sell it. But only if you stick around. Let's dive into the world of the 1989 Washington quarter dollar. At first glance, there's nothing flashy about it. It's a standard design, a left-facing portrait of George Washington, with liberty above his head and the phrase "In God We Trust" to his left. Below his neckline, the date 1989 is etched, and on the back, the bold image of an eagle with outstretched wings perches over a bundle of arrows, surrounded by olive branches. It's classic, it's iconic, and it's everywhere. So how can something so common be so valuable? The key lies not in the quantity, but in the quality, and in the quirks. Coin collectors, or numismatists as they're formally known, are obsessed with details. A slightly off-center strike, a doubling in the lettering, or even a rare mint error can send the value of a simple quarter into the stratosphere. And believe it or not, the 1989 Washington quarter is no stranger to such surprises. Let's talk about mint marks. The 1989 quarter was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia usually don't carry a mint mark. Denver coins carry a small D on the front, and San Francisco coins carry an S. Now, here's where it gets spicy. San Francisco quarters in 1989 were made primarily as proof coins. That means they were specially struck for collectors, using a high-quality process that gives the coin a mirror-like finish. If you happen to have an S mint mark and that proof-like shine, you're already on your way to something potentially valuable. But it's the errors and conditions that blow things wide open. Some 1989 quarters were misstruck, off-center, or featured doubled dies, errors caused during the minting process. A doubled die, for example, means the coin was struck more than once, creating a doubling effect in the letters or numbers. These are especially rare, and collectors pay top dollar for them. There's even been a reported 1989 D quarter with a reverse die crack, a striking error that causes a small raised line across the eagle design. Sounds like a minor issue, but to the right buyer, it's gold. Now let's talk about value. On most online auction platforms, your average circulated 1989 quarter, nothing fancy, just a coin that's been in pockets and purses for years, isn't going to fetch you much more than face value. Maybe 30 to 50 cents at best, if someone's buying in bulk. But that's not what we're after. We're after the gems. Take an uncirculated 1989 D Washington quarter in mint state condition, graded MS65 or higher. These have sold on platforms like eBay for anywhere between $15 and $50, depending on the buyer and the sharpness of the strike. That's a good flip for a coin you might have overlooked. But it gets better. The real money comes from errors and high-grade proof coins. A pristine 1989 S-proof quarter graded PR69 Deep Cameo can go for $50 to $100, sometimes even more if it's slabbed and certified by a grading service like PCGS or NGC. And error coins? A 1989 quarter with a doubled die obverse or a major off-center strike can command serious cash, upwards of $200 to $500, depending on the severity and the demand. One off-center strike 1989 quarter sold at auction for $285. Imagine that. Turning 25 cents into nearly $300 just because of a factory mistake. But let's take this a level deeper. A small handful of coins, literally 1 in 1,000, escaped the mint with major design flaws that only the most careful eyes can detect. For instance, One collector found a 1989 quarter with a clipped planchet that means a small crescent-shaped bite was missing from the edge of the coin. That coin, which technically should have never made it out of the mint, ended up being auctioned off for $225. Why? Because flaws in coinage become rare, and rarity breeds value. Even more fascinating is how important coin grading is. Grading isn't just a fancy opinion, it's a science. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale. An MS-60 is mint state, but barely. MS-65 means the coin is beautiful, with only minor marks. MS-67? Near perfection. And when it comes to proofs, a PR-70 Deep Cameo is the gold standard. Coins at these grades, especially with rare traits, can sell for 4 or 5 times their regular market price. A 1989 SPR-70 coin is a collector's dream, and although extremely rare, if it appears, collectors go into a frenzy. And let's not forget the human side of it. Stories emerge from time to time of people who discovered rare quarters by accident. One guy from Florida was sorting through his kid's piggy bank and found a nearly flawless 1989 D quarter. After getting it graded, he sold it for $130 on an auction site. Just like that, a few minutes of curiosity turned into real money. You see, most people never check their change. They think a quarter is just a quarter. But coin hunting has become a modern-day treasure hunt. There are online communities with tens of thousands of members dedicated to nothing but finding and discussing rare quarters. They post pictures, ask for evaluations, compare grades, and track auction results daily. If you're sitting on a rare 1989 quarter, this is the kind of interest waiting out there for you. So how do you start? Simple. First, inspect your coins under a good light. Look closely at the mint mark. Examine both sides of the coin. Use a magnifying glass or even a macro lens on your smartphone. Look for doubling in the letters, especially around Liberty and the date. Check the edges for odd cuts, clips, or any signs of a striking error. If it looks perfect, that's also a great sign. It could qualify as a high-grade specimen. If you think you've got something special, the next step is to preserve it. Don't clean the coin, ever. Cleaning can destroy its value. Put it in a soft coin flip or an airtight holder and send it for grading. That one step can make all the difference between a couple of bucks and a couple $100. Now when it comes to selling, remember this: presentation matters. High-quality photos, accurate descriptions, and clear details make your coin stand out in crowded marketplaces. And don't rush. If you've got a rare one, let collectors find it. The right buyer will pay what it's worth, and sometimes more. And here's the best part. If you have a 1989 Washington quarter dollar and want to know its exact value today, drop a comment below with the word price. Tell me the mint mark and the coin's condition. I'll personally reply and let you know what it could be worth right now, and I'll also guide you on how and where to sell it for the highest possible price. Because who knows? That one coin could be your golden ticket. So, don't ignore your change. Don't pass over that old coin jar. Because buried in that everyday pocket change could be a coin that changes your day, or maybe even your month. Remember, the real treasures aren't always locked behind glass or buried underground. Sometimes, they're right there in your hand, waiting for you to recognize them. Check your pockets, look through your coins, and don't forget to comment price if you think you've got something special.